So now I'm going to talk about the first pillar of the campaign, which is lowering costs. Obviously, things have gotten way too expensive, since COVID and Biden and all the inflation problems. And then with Trump, it's just gotten worse. Things have gotten even more expensive. So let's talk about what can a state legislator do to control the prices. And so I broke out a table of like a typical household budget, what it would look like. And so housing makes up the largest portion of people's expenses, typically, followed by taxes. Sometimes taxes are even more than the housing costs. Transportation is usually a big bucket for people, as is food, utilities, healthcare, childcare. These are just ranges. Obviously, everyone is going to be different. And then I put on the right, can the state impact this or not? So high impact is obviously Oregon has a great control over the state taxes and utility costs. And then other areas, they have limited impact. So as a legislator, I would support practical, targeted policies where action could actually make a difference in lowering costs. So the two bills that were passed in the last session are good examples of reducing, what is it like? Do you want to say red tape or just the credentialing process, or making it simpler for people to become licensed therapists and easier for projects for renewable energy to be approved. So, those are good. Those are good examples. There's other ones that they voted on that raise costs. So it's a debate. All right. So let's talk about utilities and why this is high control. So basically, for electricity in our area, we have a monopoly. It's PG&E. And so because it's a monopoly, there's no competition. And so the responsibility is for the regulator, the state, to make sure the system is working in the public's interest. And PG&E is a public company, and they usually make like 10% profits. And there's nothing that says it can't be a lower amount, 5%, 1%, whatever. The state is the one that's approving the rate increases. So why they can't squeeze them a little harder, perhaps there's a good reason. Perhaps there's not, but something worth looking into as far as costs go. Then there's state taxes. Obviously, the state has a high degree of control over the taxes that they charge people. So obviously, then the first thought would be, well, great, let's cut some taxes to lower costs. But it's always more complicated in real life because that's how you're funding schools, healthcare, public safety, infrastructure. And so, do you really want to cut funding in any of these areas? And so the real question tends to be, are we getting value for what we're already paying? Because it's over time, it's like an insanely complex layers of rules, programs, agencies have built up, and these complexities bring real costs. So is there a way to deliver better results with the same dollars so people can actually feel it? And so, it's just around, if you're going to ask people to pay so much in taxes, they should really feel the value in the benefits that they're getting out of it. And I don't know if people are always feeling that right now. So no specific, law or tax to cut, just more a philosophy, or just, the state has control over what taxes you pay. And it's a conversation for sure. And I would say we should do a better job at letting people, there should be more value provided for how much taxes people pay. Yeah, that's it. And then the other areas where there's some state control, not heavy control, is housing, transportation, healthcare, childcare, food. And this is around the laws that govern the system that things exist in. So for like housing and zoning laws, permitting timelines, land use policies. So, the state can shape like the rules by which the game is played, but like they don't really have direct control over costs for people. So, you can make it easier to build housing, but will the new housing be built really be super cheap, or will it be priced at top of the market because there's a profit incentive? It's going to be priced at top of the market. So the state has some control over this, but not like total control. So anyway, regarding like what type of legislator I would be, it would be practical targeted policies where action can actually make a difference. So, and like I said, I'll do a later video on a breakdown of the laws that were passed and what impact they have on costs and which direction. So, all right, more to come. Yeah, please like, subscribe, sign up to the mailing list to vote for me in May. Thank you.